Welcome to the Stella Maris tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to reference a number of sources. We're going to reference a book, a website with an author and a date, a reference website with no author and date, reference a Bible section. We're going to insert the reference list, cite quotes, cite paraphrased information, insert in-text citations, and insert reference list. Yes, it sounds like a long section, but you can actually listen to it all the way through, or you can just jump to the section which most interests you. So we'll start off by referencing a book, and I already have a book which I have found, and it is, let me see, I found it in Google Books. I just decided to look up Shabbat, and you can see what is Shabbat, which is a subject which is studied by Year 11. And Shabbat is a very holy day for the Jewish people, and they celebrate it on Saturday. This is where the information that we find for the book, we find for the reference list. Shabbat, A Family Service is the title of the book. It's written by Judith Z. Abrams. The publisher is Carbine Publishing. And here we have down here when it was published. Let me find it. No, too far. 1991. Alright, so we will start here. To open up your reference builder, you have to click on Document Elements. The advantage of a reference builder really is so that you have everything in one place. You can insert citations, you can have a reference list, you can make the bibliography, and it automatically puts an alphabetical order for you. And it will manage it by opening this little box. We click on Manage, and this is where I'll build it. I've already made Bible Gateway with Exodus, which I'll show you later. But today, when we're going to reference, you can see there is APA here, and down here I press a plus and it brings up a new box, and I am going to reference it as a book. Okay, so clicking back here, remember we saw the title, and we're going to remember that it's 1991, and I'm going to smooth this across here a bit. Oh, actually I can just scroll, can't I? 1991, and this is the other page, Shabbat, A Family Service. So we'll go back here. I want to remember when it was published, the year it was published, 1991. The Shabbat, A Family Service is the title. Now you have everything lowercase except for proper nouns. Shabbat, A Family Service by Judith Z. Abrams. Now it's important when you do an author is that you click this button, so you've got places where to put in the different names. So Judith Z. Abrams. I'm just going to check that's correct spelling. Yes, it is correct spelling. Abrams. If I had more to add, I would press Add, but I don't have any more to add. And it puts in alphabetical order with Abrams, the surname first. We also need to know where the publisher is and the city. It's only the areas that have got an asterisk that you actually need to find. There are editions, all sorts of things, but that is the minimal that you need. So we need to find the city and the publisher. The publisher we found, and it's Carbine Publishing. They always have a little picture down there on the opening title page which indicates who the publisher is, but the publisher is also shown on this page. Carbine Publishing Incorporated, and we can see the city is Minneapolis, Minneapolis. I think I've got the spelling wrong. Minneapolis. Eapillos. Okay, so that's everything we need. Minneapolis, that's it. City, all the asterisks are filled out. All right. So this always clicks up, but I just delete that. Right. So the next one we're going to look at is we're going to reference a website with an author and a date. Now I've also got another website, and it is Shabbat 101, which again the students in Year 11 use for their project. And Shabbat 101 has everything available. It has, we can tell what the actual website page is by when we click on other links, what stays the same. So that's actually the name of the website, Judaism 101. But we are looking at Shabbat, and this is the name of the actual page. This is the URL. We have the name of the author down the bottom, Tracy R. Rich, and we also have the date when it was last, 2011 when it was last updated. So we will put all of that information to begin with. So we'll start with Tracy R. Rich. To open a new one, if this box isn't open already, you press Manage, you press plus for a new box. Now remember, this isn't a book, is it? This is a website, and we're going to start with the author. Her last name is Tracy. Her middle name is R. Oops, I made a mistake. Last name is Rich. So I'm going to move this to here, and this is Rich. Add, press OK. Right, the name of the web page is Shabbat, and the name of the website is Judaism 101. The URL, I'm just doing this from memory, but we do know where it is, Shabbat and Judaism 101. This is the URL, which tells us where we've got it from. So you can see here again, where I've shown you before, if you've got asterisks here, that you need to fill that out. Now, if you don't have author, you can use author as organisation. Down here is the year that it was updated, last updated. That gives us an indication, say you're writing something from the science website. If it's very old, that gives you an indication that the information might be old, or an old science book. So it's important for the person reading your information to know when it was made available. 2015, I'm making 22nd, and, month is the 10th. But when I'm doing this, it's October, the 10th and 22nd. So that when it's been updated, you don't need to have all of that, but if you've got it, that's extra good. I press OK. So what have we done so far? We've referenced a book, we've referenced a website with an author. I'm going to show you the Bible later, how it looks, and we're going to reference a website with no author and no date. And I'm going to show you I'm going to search for Stella Maris College, Manly. We're going to the website there, and we're going to access this website. Obviously, it doesn't go with what we're looking at the moment, but it is still worthwhile to show you how you can reference a website that has no author and has no date, up to date. All right, so back to the Word document. And again, we open, and this is a website. Now, as there is no author, this case, we are the organisation of the author is Stella Maris College. Now, it could also be ABC News website, it could be BBC, NRMA, or large organisations don't always have a website. Now, I'm going to go to, where are we? Quick links, how to enrol. I'm going to enrolment page, for example. So you can see how to enrol. That is actually going to be our enrolment page. That's what it's called. While, so that's the page, Control V, whereas the name of the website is Stella Maris College. Okay, now it's also all capitals there because it's a proper noun. We also record the URL, Control V, and this is the year. Now we don't have a date that was last updated, so it says n.d. for no date. We have the year access 2015. We have the month access 10th and 22nd. Press OK. Right. So this is the 4 that we are just about to insert in our as a reference list. I also want to show you the Bible Gateway, and you can actually have a look at this and correct it by editing source, and that opens up, and you can see here it's a website, and I'll show you the what I wanted to do was I wanted to find a quote on Shabbat, and this is from Exodus 16:23, Good News Translation, and I've used the Bible Gateway URL. It's a Bible Gateway website. This Exodus 16:23 is the page number, and there is no date, so I didn't put a date on it. You can see here we have Bible Gateway as author as organisation, name of web page, Exodus 16:23, name of website, Bible Gateway, URL, there is no date. Now I've made an error here, so it's lucky I went in to correct it, because I am going to put 10 here and 22nd here because I had no dates for that. So that's easy, you can correct it. The current source exists in both the master list and current list. Do you want to change both? Yes, because it's both corrected. All right. Now, sometimes these come up, which are a bit annoying. And you can just delete them. I'm just going to delete these. And by clicking on this little box here, it highlights the whole box. You can delete it easily. All right, so we are going to insert this whole reference list. All right, so we do this by clicking on the Bible, bibliography, and you can either call it works cited or bibliography, it doesn't matter, it means the same thing. Works cited means everything that you've actually cited that you've referenced within your document, whereas bibliography is slightly different. It has everything you reference in your document as well as extra reading that you may have done. This is the one most commonly that you reference. So I double-clicked on Works Cited. All right, I could have just as easily clicked on Bibliography. Now I do find sometimes that it's a bit confusing, so I like to just put a division between sources. All right, you can see Abrams, Bible Gateway, they're in alphabetical order. All right, all very clear. If you want to insert a reference list, say for example, we have a quote here, Exodus. I am going to find a quote, Exodus. All right, and copy it. And I will put it back into the Word document. All right. So this is actually a quote, and I am actually going to put this in front of the full stop, because that's actually telling us that everything of this quote from the bottom up is from Bible Gateway. All right. Now you can see here there's no date. So, sorry, there's no date because there is no date for this particular website, but if you wanted to edit the citation, instead of having Bible Gateway, have the Exodus, I can click on the little button there and press OK, and it changes it. All right, to Exodus 16:23 with no date. If you want to change it to something else, if you want to edit the citation, have no date, you would click on year, and then that would affect. But I think this is the best for the Bible quote. All right. If you wrote this in your own words, which is paraphrasing, and I'm going to move that across. This is what the Lord commanded. Tomorrow is to be a day of Sabbath rest, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. So bake what you want to bake and boil what you want to boil. Save whatever is left and keep it until the morning. All right. So the Lord said, keep the Sabbath as a day of rest and complete your jobs prior to the Sabbath. Now, that is said in my own words. There's a few similarities there, but that's essentially my own words. If I wanted to, I'm going to have it. So if I wanted to, I need to cite that because I got that information from the Bible. I didn't know about that quote. I just put that quote in my own words, and I will do exactly the same thing. And I'm going to make sure that I edit the citation and make it so that the Exodus comes up. So this is telling the reader of my work, the marker of my work, that all the information that I have from here, Exodus 16:23, is from this website. Even though it's not in quotations, it is because it's been paraphrased into my own words. All right, so that is citing paraphrased information. I might put this here so you've got a record of it, and I will remove this from here. All right, now, and that was inserting an in-text citation. All right, so I am going to do this again. This time we are going to have a look at the Shabbat website, and I'm just going to get a quote from there. Where is the Shabbat website? Have I still got it? Maybe not. Maybe I'll have to open a new one. Alright, I've got Shabbat 101. I'm going to take a quote. Sabbath is one of the best known, least understood. I'm going to jump down here. Shabbat is the most important ritual observance in Judaism. Let's see. Right, and I'm going to quote that again, just so you can see. That's quote. If you have more than 40 words, it is best to actually indent your paragraph. All right, but this is not as 40 words, but if it's 40 words, it's best to indent it and separate it from the rest of the information. So with this one here, it is a quote, and I am going to double click on Rich 2011. Now this time I am going to combine two paraphrased sections. So I've got this paraphrase section, which that's been paraphrased, so I'm going to make it italics, so you can see all the examples that we've used, italics and italics. This is paraphrased. All right, make that bold so you see there. All right, so under this, we are going to show you how to paraphrase. So the Lord said, keep the Sabbath day as day of rest and complete your jobs prior to the Sabbath. I would say prior opposed to the Sabbath. So I'm going to move this down here, and that is a quote. I'm going to make a comma after that and say, we know that Shabbat is the most important holy day for holy day for the Jewish people. All right, so that's put my own words. I probably could make it change, say, use a synonym for important, make sure that it's significant. That's a better word, significant. Significant holy day or holy ritual. Let's have a look. Another word for ritual. Sacrament, formal custom, ceremony. It could be sacrament. For the Jewish people, right? So we have two quotes that have been turned into our own words. So we know we've got Exodus and rich. So I'm going to put in Exodus first and double click on that. And I'm going to change it again because we want to have the Exodus, right? And then all you have to do is you just put the cursor in front of the last bracket, and we are going to click on rich. All right. Now that means that all the information here from this paragraph, from the bottom up slowly up to here, belongs to this information. When you're completing research assignments, you should have at least one, if not two, citations at the end of every paragraph. A more sophisticated way of introducing this information may be, instead of saying Shabbat is the most important ritual observance and riches in Judaism, you might say Rich states that the Shabbat is the most significant holy sacrament for the Jewish people. Now that has been paraphrased. That is in my own words. What I've done is actually let the reader know that author Rich has stated the information. So because we've got her name there already, I don't need all the information. I'm just going to put in brackets, and I'm just going to put the date. All right. You might extend that by saying Rich states that Shabbat is the most significant holy sacrament of the Jewish people, and furthermore, the Lord said to keep the Sabbath as a day of rest. Full stop. So you might have, because we haven't said Exodus, I'm just going to press Exodus. But if you introduce the information there as with the author's name, you only need the date at the end. If you don't state the author or where it came from, you have to put the whole information at the end. All right. Now I know this is confusing, but once you do have a chance to rewind and look at the information again, you also have an opportunity to come and see myself. You also have an opportunity to speak to your teachers or anyone in the library If you have any questions, please come and see me in the library and I will help you at any time. Thank you very much for joining us. It's the Stella Maris tutorial, and I hope you found the tutorial helpful and you learnt to make a reference list, reference a book, reference a website with author and date, reference website with no author and date, cite works, understand what paraphrasing is. Hope that was helpful to you all. Thank you for joining us.